Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Gentlemen, thank you for being here today. This is a sad day for the Marine Corps, and it's a sad day for our armed forces. All of us on this committee are agreed that the conduct at issue here was despicable, that we owe a sacred trust to the women and men who join our volunteer military and put it all on the line to keep us safe, and to find themselves abused and victimized by fellow Marines is completely unacceptable. I appreciate your addressing this issue with the seriousness that it deserves. And my question to each of you is twofold. How do we ensure that this never happens again? And what needs to happen so that those who violated the rights of their fellow Marines are held accountable? General?
Senator, to ensure that it doesn't happen again, we've got to change the way we see each other as Marines. And that's not going to be easy, but it's got to be done. I don't know how many people we're dealing with here that are in here. Some of them, maybe they're just, whatever their beliefs are, they're just happen to be piling on, or they're just misguided or ignorant. But if they're in this organization, they can't participate in this anymore. So for those, I honestly believe that with leadership out there, and particularly sergeant majors and the senior enlisted and the NCOs, this is where they're the ones that have their finger on the pulse of the organization. And I've got great trust in Marines. I've seen what they can do. I know their spirit, and I don't believe, I may be wrong. Pray to God I'm not. But I don't believe this is indicative of the great majority of the Marines that wear this uniform. So they're gonna solve this. I can't do this myself, so our major can't do this. We got to solve this together. Now, for those that don't want to be part of that solution, then there's got to be accountability, and we'll work our way through this. But there are, as we discussed, we got to clarify for our leadership what their actions can be if this behavior is identified, and what they can do to hold these people accountable. And we're looking at a whole number of things in addition to what's in the UCMJ. So that's our path forward. So we've got a training piece. It starts at the beginning, but it's really a leadership piece, a discussion piece. But then at the end, there has to be accountability, because as Senator Graham said, there are those that will, they understand what's right and what's wrong, and there's others, they understand it, but they may feel like they have to do this, and then they're the ones that are going to have to be deterred and held accountable.
And Sergeant Major?
Yes, sir. So we have to build an environment. You know, if a Marine walked into any place, the Salvation Army, the Red Cross, and they already have an idea of what that organization does. They walk in there and they realize that where they're going, where the door that they walk through, they're not really doing what my thought was when I went in, or what they advertise. Then in real life, if they're doing something illegal, if they're doing something to denigrate, disrespect people, I'm going to report it. We have to build that environment in our Marine Corps where they go in this social media world and they really understand the meaning of friend. Because when you hit the button and you give somebody the right as a friend, that's not the same meaning as in I meet someone. And that's the reality of today in the virtual world. Just because you tag somebody as a friend, That doesn't mean you actually know that person, and that's not really your friend. Some people just learn that day, see people, tag them as a friend, let them in, not understanding in a social media world, everything on your page, you've just given them the right to. Because they can screenshot it, they can do what they want, take it and do what they want. And understanding the laws that we have right now today that protects an individual, we have to explain that to our Marines, our leadership, and those that we recruit.
Thank you.